Hello and welcome to another Cliff Reviews Art House. This time I'm reviewing the 2008 film Wendy and Lucy, directed by Kelly Reichardt. Wendy and Lucy is one of those rare films that turns almost nothing into something deeply compelling. If you told someone that this is a film about a woman passing through a small town whose car breaks down and whose dog goes missing, they might assume that the film would be really dull. In fact, it's quietly riveting. Kelly Reichardt has an amazing gift for making the mundane interesting to watch. The film begins with a train in a yard, a recurring motif that appears throughout, with train horns sounding in the distance as if to remind us of constant movement and the restless search for direction. This is a hallmark of Reichardt's world. America seen not as a land of freedom and abundance, but as a landscape of drift, fragility, and disconnection. Even the book, glimpsed briefly in one scene, sometimes a great notion, feels symbolic, hinting at lost dreams and stubborn persistence. I always check what a book is when we clearly see it in a film. When it's deliberately in the shot, it has to have a significance. I hadn't heard of this book, but in this case, the book itself tells the story of a defiant logging family in Oregon who choose to keep working through a strike, isolating themselves from their community. It's a tale of self-reliance, pride, and the loneliness that comes from refusing to bend. Its presence in the film deepens the sense that Wendy's independence, like the family in the book, is both her strength and her undoing. Michelle Williams gives an outstanding performance as Wendy, playing her with a kind of quiet endurance that has become typical of Reichardt's characters. Her people rarely express overt emotion. They suffer silently. Yet Wendy is allowed a few brief moments of release, and they hit hard. She's a woman who simply has had no luck. She's trying to reach Alaska to find work and perhaps a fresh start, but every small mishap, her car not starting, a shoplifting incident, the loss of her dog, accumulates into a sense of crushing inevitability. The film captures how life's smallest obstacles can derail someone who already has very little margin for error. Some critics have suggested that Reichardt provides too little backstory for her characters. I think this is true, but it's also part of her strength for me. She gives us just enough to let us piece together who these people are. We never fully know what went wrong for Wendy. There are hints of family difficulties, a suggestion of a past disappointment, but nothing is spelled out. This sparseness invites us to imagine her life, and that act of imagining is what draws us closer to her. Reichardt's style is deliberately minimalist. Long takes, sparse dialogue, and a still camera create a sense of realism that feels almost documentary. Yet within this austerity, there is great emotional depth. The cinematography captures the drab beauty of small-town America, rail yards, discount stores, empty streets, each shot heavy with the weight of isolation. The soundscape too is subtle, the hum of traffic, distant trains, dogs barking, all creating an atmosphere of quiet melancholy. What stands out for me most is the film's humanity. Even in a world of indifference, there are glimmers of kindness. The security guard who gives Wendy a few dollars, the mechanic who tries to help her, the strangers around a campfire. Each offers a fleeting connection that could turn either way. The film understands that kindness, when it comes, is often compromised or awkward, never pure. When the guard gives her $6, he does it with a patronizing air, making it clear that he sees himself as generous. Reichardt captures this ambiguity perfectly, generosity and condescension coexisting in a single gesture. Wendy and Lucy deserves praise for its honesty and restraint, for showing the precariousness of modern life without sentimentality. It was released in the shadow of the financial crisis, and its relevance has only grown since. It is about the people who fall through the cracks, about the thin line between survival and despair. It's a small film, but it lingers long after it ends. By refusing to explain too much, Reichardt gives us space to feel rather than to judge. Her minimalism is not a lack of story, but a gesture of trust. Trust that the audience will see the humanity in the silences. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.